Hello everyone, my name is Liao, and I am a second-year PhD student working with Dr. Cheng at Clemson University. I'm glad to present our work about measuring the effectiveness of privacy policies for voice assistant applications. As we know, voice assistants such as Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant have been seamlessly integrated into our daily life. An estimated 4.2 billion voice assistants are being used around the world in 2020. Both Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant platforms allow third-party developers to build new voice apps, which are called skills on the Amazon Alexa platform and actions on the Google Assistant platform. Voice apps might collect user personal information, such as asking user name, age, or phone number. For better protecting consumers' privacy, voice app developers are required to provide privacy policies and notify users of their app's data practices. A number of recent studies substantiate users' concerns about privacy when interacting with voice assistant devices. A transparent privacy policy is therefore very important to address user concerns. Voice assistant platforms have different requirements regarding the privacy policies of voice apps. Amazon Alexa requires only skills that collect personal information to have a privacy policy, while Google Assistant requires every action to have a privacy policy provided on submission. In this work, we conducted the first empirical analysis to measure the effectiveness of privacy policies provided by voice app developers on both Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant platforms. First, we analyzed 64,720 Amazon Alexa skills and 16,002 Google Assistant actions about their privacy policies. We checked whether they have a privacy policy. For the skills and actions that have one, unfortunately, we found there are many voice apps with incorrect privacy policy URLs or broken links. Surprisingly, Amazon and Google even have official voice apps violating their own requirements regarding the privacy policy. This is a privacy policy page provided by 6 Amazon official skills. Second, we further analyzed the privacy policy content to identify potential inconsistencies between privacy policies and descriptions. We developed an NLP-based approach to capture data practices and then compared the privacy policy with the app's description. We found there are privacy policies that are inconsistent with the corresponding voice app descriptions. We also found voice apps which are supposed to have a privacy policy, but do not provide one. In addition, we also conducted a user study to understand how users engage with privacy policies and their perspectives. We had reported our findings to both Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant teams. Our work also got some impact from both media and the voice assistant platforms. This work was reported by some news media, such as the Register, VentureBeat, and IPS News. We received acknowledgments from both platforms. It is worth mentioning that Google had taken actions, including removing some actions with missing privacy policies and adding clarity about privacy policy requirements, and awarded us a bug boundary for reporting these issues. Here is the overview of our methodology. First, we built a crawler to collect a voice app's ID, name, developer information, description, and the privacy policy link from the Amazon Alexa Skill Store and the Google Assistant Action Store. We also obtained the content of privacy policies. In this process, we could find the privacy policies with broken links and duplicate links. Next, we developed an approach based on keywords and NLP to capture the data practices in privacy policies and descriptions. We found hundreds of voice apps providing a privacy policy without data practice. At last, we compared the data practices in descriptions and privacy policies. If a voice app declares a data collection in description but not mentions it in the privacy policy, we consider this privacy policy is incomplete. We also detected whether a skill declares data collection in description but not provides a privacy policy. We consider it as missing privacy policies. This table is the overview of our result, and we could find some high-level issues. We found that 72% of Alexa skills and 38% of Google actions don't provide a privacy policy. For those skills and actions that have provided a privacy policy, not every link leads to the page containing a privacy policy. 1,755 Alexa skills and 192 Google actions provide a broken privacy policy link. Some voice apps provide a page not containing privacy policy, but the homepage of a company. We also found a substantial portion of privacy policies share same URLs. The figure shows the prevalence of duplicate privacy policy URLs in both platforms. In particular, Amazon Alexa has more than 56% of skills with duplicate privacy policy URLs. For Google Actions, 9% of actions use a duplicate privacy policy URLs. This table lists the most common privacy policy URLs in two platforms. The issue of duplicate URLs is more serious on the Amazon Alexa platform. There are 10% of skills with privacy policy sharing the same privacy policy URL. A serious problem happens if such a privacy policy link is broken. Hundreds of skills would be affected. For example, we found a broken link from freshdigitalgroup.com, and there are 217 skills using this link. Then all their privacy policies become inaccessible. As to the Google Actions, we also observed the similar issue. We found there are Amazon and Google's official voice apps violating their own requirements. We found two official weather skills on Amazon Alexa skill store, and one of them asked for user's location according to the description, but it doesn't provide a privacy policy. Surprisingly, we found 23 Alexa skills privacy policy links are unrelated to privacy policy, in which 17 links are Amazon homepage and 6 links are pages about insurance. As for Google Action, we found 92 official actions providing links point to two different Google privacy policy pages, and both are general privacy policies. But Google requires that every action should have an app-specific privacy policy. For the second part, we analyzed the content of privacy policies. We found a large number of voice apps provide a privacy policy link without any data practice. 593 privacy policies provided by Alexa skills have zero data practice, and they are confirmed by our manual analysis. The left figure shows the breakdown of different issues of these privacy policies. As for Google Action, we found 327 Google Actions having privacy policies with zero data practice, as shown in the red figure. There are mainly 5 types of pages with no data practice. A real privacy policy page, but with no data practice. A redirect page which contains a link to the real privacy policy. A totally unrelated page, such as advertisement page. A page that cannot be found. And at last, over 100 actions provide their privacy policy as Google Doc, but users need to log in to access it. They all violate Google's restriction that the link should be a public document viewable by everyone. We could detect inconsistency between the privacy policy and the description for some voice apps. For example, The skill running outfit advisor mentions collecting the gender information in the description, but does not mention this data practice in its privacy policy. We identified 44 Alexa skills and 2 Google actions that have a privacy policy inconsistent with the corresponding description. There are also voice apps missing required privacy policies, and there are a few voice apps that are present on both Alexa and Google platforms. We found that for these voice apps, the privacy policies provided with each are not same. Please check out our website for more information about our work. Thank you.